We're going to start a new project today, creating a worm farm. I watched a video on YouTube called The Power of Community, How Cuba Survived Peak Oil. And it was about the collapse of the Soviet Union and how their imports of oil affected their food and lifestyle. And they had two problems when all was said and done. They had 90,000 tractors during the 80s, and there was nothing to run them on, so they became dinosaurs. And they also were large plantations. Their farms were very large, and they didn't have the insecticides, pesticides, and fertilizers to do that kind of agriculture. And so they needed to build their soil up, and they found the best way to do that was with worms, vermiculite. And also the second problem that they had was good seeds. They couldn't find good seeds. So I thought it'd be fun to address this and do it ourselves. The neighbor was kind enough to give us one of their old rain barrels. And what I thought I would do is cut it in half and just follow the seam line all the way around it with a skill saw. Then I put an old blade in and I reversed it so the teeth aren't going to catch the plastic. But you could use a handsaw, a jigsaw, or a sawzall even. So let's cut this tube in half. What I'll do is I'll take an old garden hose that's no longer of any use, and I'll cut it down the center of it, open it up, drill some holes between the two. This has a drain plug where the rain barrel used to drain out. We'll tip this at a slight angle, put some screen over this, and this will be our first worm bed. A rain barrel cut in half. I got rid of the idea with the garden hose as a gasket. It didn't work real well, and it wasn't really needed. As you can see, it's a real tight joint on the back side, so none of the worms are going to get away. And all I did was a bolt and a nut and use that to join them. I had a small piece of stainless steel screen that I used to scrap, and I had a drain hole for the rain barrel that I covered up. And as I was working on the barrel, I hit a slight crack in it, but that's going to just help with the drainage of the water. So that's fine, and none of the worms are going to escape. Another thing that I had done is I ground up the leaves, and I think that's going to help them a great deal. This will hold, I believe, 12,000 worms. And really what I'm going to do with this bin is not really so much for composting, but I'm going to use this as making more worms for a larger worm farm. This is going to be pretty much the breeding pit.